All right, good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everyone? Guys, I can see a few people have jumped in already. So we've got Cam, James, Judy, Ross, Tim. How are you guys? Hope you're well. If you can hear me loud and clear, just drop a comment in the chat. That'd be awesome. Just let me know that we're all good and ready to rock and roll. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Adam's jumped on. Awesome, guys. Really appreciate it. Hope everybody is doing as well as can be in the situation. You know, we're all being impacted in some way. Some people are being very heavily impacted, others not so much. But all in all, guys, we need to stick together, win it together, help flatten the curve. You know, all these sort of things, which everybody's doing a great job of doing, while also trying to keep our businesses up and running. So it's a massive task. It's a massive challenge. Lots of pressure, lots of stress. And we have to remember to first and foremost take care of ourselves, guys. In our physical health, our mental health, our hygiene, all those sort of things. So, how is everybody doing this morning? Are we feeling fairly positive? Are we excited for this webinar? Let me know. Drop a comment into the chat, guys. So at any time, if you have any questions, please do just drop them into the chat, because this is very much going to be a back and forth conversation. And also another thing with today, I'd love it if you guys are in front of your computer or you're on your computer. Let's work through this process together, okay? So I don't have a heap of slides that we're going to be flicking through. I don't have any slides at all, actually. It's going to be tactical. It's going to be practical. We're going to jump in. We're going to get you set up with your business manager, get all your accounts connected so you can basically set up any ads that you want to run by the end of this call, okay? So that's the whole idea today. It's not all information based. It's practical. It's tactical. We're going to jump in and we're going to get started very, very shortly. Ryan's jumped in. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. Belinda's on the line as well. Of course, coffee. All right, guys. So we are going to kick things off. There's still a few more people jumping in, but we're going to get into it, guys, because we know that time is super precious for everybody at the moment, and I want to thank you guys for sharing a bit of your time with me today, and hopefully I can give you a stack of value to make it worth your time. So to kick off, what I would love everybody to do is in the comments, let me know if you are currently running Facebook ads or if you're completely new to it. So let me know if you already run ads or whether you're a complete beginner. Ryan says, got my brother Pablo coffee already. So awesome, mate. Good work. Same here. Clockwork coffee for the win. All right, so Ryan says he's new. Cam says he's currently running some ads. James says he's currently running them. Judy, yes, there will be a recording. So I am recording this. So if at any point you're not in front of your computer or you're not following along, I will send you the recording so you can go back through. So please don't stress about that. Tim's running some ads. Ross says he has in the past, not much success. So awesome, beautiful. Now, and Adam says not yet, but very keen. Awesome, guys. So this is good. This is good. All right. So to kick off, the whole reason why I wanted to put this little presentation together, guys, is obviously to help as much as possible. But what we are seeing in the current environment with everybody needing to be, social distancing, working remotely, for a lot of bricks and mortar businesses, right, especially in that hospitality trade, in the health and fitness space, we know those industries which are heavily impacted at the moment because they have been told to shut, right? There is also a massive amount of resilience out there, and it's absolutely fantastic. People are going online, they're pivoting, they're switching, they're doing what they can to innovate in a time when it's completely necessary, but also, very stressful, and, everybody's just trying to do the best they can do while keeping things afloat. So what I have been noticing, obviously, is a lot of people turning to social media in order to help get their message out, right? Just a natural consequence of what's happening. That's absolutely awesome. Perfect example is with all our favorite cafes and restaurants at the moment. Those that are able to continue on have switched to a delivery mode, right? So they are doing takeaways. They are doing like contactless delivery. Awesome work. But where we can help, where I think I can help you guys, or anybody that's in that space who's trying to keep their business running and needs to get the word out to people that they are still operational, or they've changed the way that they do business so they can continue operating. In times like this, we need to over communicate. So jumping on Facebook, jumping on Instagram, jumping on any of the social media platforms, doing webinars, doing live streams, all this sort of stuff that you can do while adhering to the social distancing rules. Should call it physical distancing. We want to be really social at the moment. We just have to do it online. So that's awesome. You are creating a post, you're letting your customers, you're letting your clients know that you're doing deliveries now, you're working remotely, whatever the situation is, and you're putting that post up onto Facebook or Instagram or any other social media platforms. Well done, great approach. We just need to tweak it a little bit to help you get in front of as many customers and potential customers as possible, right? We all know that right now it is super important to be making as many sales as possible. Cash flow is the lifeblood of your business. And at the moment that's being heavily impacted, and it really does, it's whether you can keep the doors open or you can't, whether you have to lay off staff, whether you can keep them on, all that sort of stuff. So right now, marketing and sales, super important, very challenging with limited funds and money not coming in like it used to. But this is going to be a low cost solution. You can put it in place yourself. It is not going to cost you a lot of money. And the idea is that it is going to help you reach more people. So we all know that Facebook has very low organic reach now, right? And so do a lot of the major platforms like Instagram. LinkedIn's a bit of an exception at the moment. So if you're in that professional space, if you're in the service industry, anything, jump on LinkedIn, spend a bit of time posting on LinkedIn as well, because you'll get some good organic reach there. But today, this is very much about Facebook and Facebook ads. So for all our favorite cafes at the moment that are restaurants switching to delivery mode, what we want to do is help that post reach as many people as possible, okay? If we hit that boost button on Facebook, it's a waste of money. Like, honestly, it really is. If you have been doing that, it's completely okay and well done for sort of going to those extra lengths, those extra steps. But let's refine it, let's tweak it, and I'll tell you why hitting that boost button is wasting your money, essentially. All right, Ingrid has jumped on the call. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. Judy says that she's done 1 or 2 ads in the past. I think I've already read that one out. So, guys, let's jump into it. The reason that we don't want to hit that boost button is because when we're running Facebook ads, there is a list of different objectives, right? There's a list of different objectives that you can select to tell the algorithm what you want to achieve when you're running your ads, okay? Examples are brand awareness, video views, traffic to your website, conversions, right? So there are a few. Basically, you need to select the right objective so that the algorithm knows what you want your ad to achieve, okay? When you hit that boost button on Facebook, it automatically selects the post engagement objective. So that post engagement objective, you're telling the algorithm that you want people to like and comment and click on your post, okay, to give it some engagement, to get those vanity metrics up, basically, right? Now, depending on what you're trying to achieve, there's nothing wrong with that. But right now, when you want as many eyeballs as possible on your post so that you can get as many customers coming in as possible, the post engagement objective, when hitting that boost button, is not an efficient way of spending money on Facebook. So we're going to run through today how to set up your business manager, how to jump into your ad account or set up an ad account and select the right objective so that you can get your post or any ads that you create in front of as many people as possible for the least amount of money possible. Now, guys, can you let me know in the comments if that all makes sense so far? Let me know if you've got any questions. Also, drop them below. But let me know if that all makes sense, all right? And then we'll jump straight into it. Beautiful. Crystal clear. Love it. Yes, makes sense. Awesome. Fantastic, guys. All right, so for the next part of basically the webinar, guys, what I want to do, and as I said, I'm going to, conscious of everybody's time today. So I'm going to try and get through this section in the next 20 minutes, right? So that everybody has some time to get stuff set up, but also get on with their day and do what they need to do. And then we can have some Q&A afterwards if you've got any specific questions, right? I'll hang around till probably around 10:30 answering questions if people have got them. So Ryan, yeah, good comment, mate. I've got all the time in the world. It's true, mate. But let's get some ads up and running, hey? So I'm going to share my screen with you now, guys. And what I want you to do, if you can minimize this screen into a corner of your screen, I need you to open up your web browser, okay? And we're going to dive straight in for those of you that are in front of your computer. And we are going to run through this whole process with you, okay? So minimize this screen. You can just have the audio running if you want, but there is actually going to be some stuff here that you can watch on the screen. I am going to share my screen with you guys. Let me just set that up. 2 seconds. All right. Two seconds, guys. We're nearly there. Get rid of that. Now, can you guys see my screen? Please let me know if you can. Just pulling up the chat. Beautiful. Excellent. All right. So what I want you to do, guys, is jump into your browser and type in, or even just into Google is fine as well. Type in business.facebook.com. Okay. We want this URL up here. So jump in and type that one in. I'll give you a second. Tim, no, I can't see you, buddy, but that's okay. You just need to be able to see the screen here. So what we want to do, guys, once you've brought up this page, we want to come over here and click on Create Account, all right? And you are going to enter your personal Facebook details, right? So the details that you use for your personal account, just like the app that you use on the phone or when you log in online, use your personal details here, guys, and log in. No need to be worried about privacy or anything like this, guys, because again, it's just another Facebook account. It's all under Facebook's privacy rules, all that sort of stuff. It's no different to logging into your normal account. Let me know when we've gotten that done, guys. Just drop a yep into the chat for me, and we'll keep moving on. Beautiful. Thanks, guys. So once we have logged in, we should see. Let me just switch this here. All right, guys, we should see, let me minimize that, a screen like this. Now, for many of you, you are already going to have, those that have already been running ads, you are already going to have an ad account here, okay? So for this, just using this as a good use case, guys, we have been working with Next Gen Pest Control. Many of you guys will know Andrew and Rowan. So a good example here of what your business manager is going to look like. You will have an ad account there. It's probably just going to have numbers here. It won't actually have your business name, but that's okay. Now, there's a couple of ways to go about this, all right? The ad account that is here in this section on your business manager is the one that will have been created automatically if you've boosted posts in the past, okay? We can use this account. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, but you can also create your own account or another account if you want to start from scratch. For the purpose of this exercise today, guys, we just want to be getting ads up and running as quickly as possible. So we're going to use the ad account that's already there. Now, what you might not see if you haven't set up your business manager before is any pages that you also manage, okay? Now, what you will need to do is bring your page across into your business manager before we set up some ads, okay? Now, the reason that it's a good idea, guys, to set up your business manager is, one, you have this interface where you can run strategic and Facebook ads, basically, but everything's under the one roof, right? So if you ever look to need to have somebody come in as an admin or run some ads for you, whether it's somebody on your internal team, whether it's an agency, whoever it might be, this business manager gives you the access to be able to provide them access, or they can request access, and nobody's sharing passwords or logging into each other's account, okay? So really safe, really secure, and this is how we get to our strategic Facebook ads. All right, everybody following along? I'm sure you are. Many of you are already running ads, so you'll be fairly familiar with this. So in order to bring our page across into our business manager, what we want to do, guys, is go to business settings here over on the left-hand side. We're going to open that up and we are going to click on pages, all right? Now, from this pages section, we are going to click on the add button and we are going to add page. Now, there's a couple of options here, guys. Add page is if you own your own page, okay? So if it's your business and you created the page, then you can bring it into Business Manager as the owner. If you are running ads for a client or somebody's page it's not you don't own that page or that business, then you can use this option here to request access. They need to approve it, okay, on their end, but you will then have access to their Facebook page, just like being an admin through the Facebook app, right? But we do need to be careful here that you're not trying to get access to somebody else's page because if you add a page, that's going to bring it into your business manager and basically kick them out, right? So you need to choose the right option there for you, add page. Then it is going to bring up once you have brought that in. So what you will need to do is jump into, in order to give yourself access, if you are already an admin on that page, it's going to do it automatically for you. So you don't have to stress, you're done. If you are not an admin or you're requesting access to somebody else's page, they need to go to their page's settings, then go to page roles, and then approve your name or your business or whatever it is that comes up, and provide you access. So that's go to the Facebook page, go to settings, go to page roles, and approve. Then you'll have access here. Once you've done that, guys, we want to click on add people over here, and list of people who are in your business manager is going to show up here, right? So we want to select the person. It's going to be your name. If you're the owner of the page, select, toggle all of these on, okay, right? Just toggle them all on and assign, okay? Then it's going to say that one person's been added to the page. Beautiful, we're good to go. We're going to close that one down, and then you can go back to your business manager. You can click on the icon over here, just go back to the home page, and it should look like this. Okay, guys, you'll have an ad account and then you'll have your page. Everybody following along, let me know. The next thing, guys, is we want to start creating our ads, okay? Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to run more of these types of webinars, guys, to go into more detail. Today, we're going to just cover the bare basics, okay? Cover the bare basics to get you up and running ASAP. So what we want to do is jump into your ad account. So click on the ad account and open that one up. Now, what we want to do is, let me zoom back out of that, guys. We want to go to create campaign here, okay? Now, it's going to launch something that looks like this, which is a quick creation campaign, or you can click on this switch to guided creation. This will give you, this option basically will give you a little bit more detail and step you through. Like, it is a fairly intuitive process. Facebook kind of steps you through the process, so it's fairly easy to get things up and running. So are we all okay with this so far? Are we all got this screen up and running? Because we can start setting up our ads. Beautiful, doing well, guys. Thanks for sticking around. Belinda says, yep. Beautiful, guys. Go for it. All right. So the biggest thing here, guys, is we get to choose our objective, right? So remember I talked before about when you hit that boost button on Facebook, it's going to select that post engagement objective. That's this one here. And if you hover over each of the information dots, it's going to give you some more information about what each one of them means. So the post engagement objective, get more post engagements, page likes, event responses, and offer claims. That is basically what the algorithm is going to try and do if you select that objective. In this case, we want to let as many people know in our local area or even outside of our local area that we are open for business, that we have switched to delivery, that we are still operating as normal, that we're working remotely, whatever the message might be. Now, there's a couple of different options. We can use brand awareness, which is basically going to reach as many people as possible who are likely to be interested in what you have to offer, okay? It's a good base to start from if you are just looking to get as many eyeballs as possible. The traffic objective is where you are driving traffic. You are putting into your ad a link, a URL where you want people to go to, right? So it might be your website. It might be a landing page. It might be whatever you can direct people to a URL. There's some restrictions about where you send people, but if you want to direct people to your website for more information, use this objective. If you have a video that you have recorded, whether it be already on your socials or you just want to record a video on your camera, talk to your audience, let them know via video what's going on. Good suggestion is to use the video views objective. It is cheap and it will also optimize your ads to put them in front of people who are most likely to watch your video and listen to your message, okay? The next option that we could use is the messages option, okay? Now, this one can be slightly more expensive because basically we're going from awareness to consideration to conversion. And as we move from left to right, these objectives become more expensive, right? Because you're asking the person who is viewing your ad to do more, right? Brand awareness, they're just looking at your ad. They might read it, they might see it, they might not. Consideration, you're starting to get them to make little actions, right? Clicking a link, going through to your website, whatever it might be. Conversion is where you're actually wanting them to make a purchase. So there's a lot more involved and it generally costs more money, right? So keeping in mind, we've got small budgets. We can do this on a small budget, right? What we want to do for the purpose of today, guys, if you have recorded a video, let's use the video views objective. If you just have a text post, right? We want to use the brand awareness objective. If you want people clicking through to your website, use the traffic objective, okay? For the purpose of this, I'm just going to click on the brand awareness objective. We're going to scroll down. There's a few different options here. Leave A/B test off for the time being. Campaign budget optimization, you can toggle that one on, okay? We'll talk more about that on another webinar. You can change your budget here, okay, guys? Either a daily budget or a lifetime budget. So if you decide that you want to spend $100 over the next 2 weeks to get your message out there, select the lifetime budget and you can set and forget, right? Facebook won't spend any more than that $100. If you are happy to be jumping back in on a daily basis, seeing how things are going, which I recommend, you can select a daily budget. You might want to spend $10 a day at the moment, right? Everybody's budgets are going to be different depending on how their cash flow is going, what sort of money they want to spend, how business is operating. That choice is up to you. Happy to talk to you guys later offline about optimizing that for your situation. Anyway, choose your budget and go continue. So as you can see on the left here, they're starting to tick off the different sections that you've completed, okay? So you get a bit of an idea on where we're up to. So we're now at the ad set level, okay? So this is where, when you hit that boost button, you can select age and location, all that sort of stuff. Exactly the same here, but in more detail and with more accuracy, all right? So for anybody locally, what we want to do is leave the top area blank. There's no custom audiences unless you have already set up custom audiences. Basically, guys, I'm running through this for anybody who hasn't really run ads before, okay? You can optimize it yourself if you have done in the past. We want to click on locations here and select living in this location. If you have a small budget, I really suggest that you choose this option here Basically, if you're a local business wanting to reach local people, just select this option, right? Because we don't want to be targeting people who have either been in town and left, or people that are just traveling. Potentially people who are traveling through, depends on your business. But for the purpose of this, if you're a cafe, if you're a restaurant, if you're a local person who wants to reach locals for delivery purposes, living in this location. Now, here we need to switch it up. Hit that X, get rid of that. And we're going to type in, for the purpose of today's exercise, Shepparton, all right? Because I know most of you are based around the Goulburn Valley that are on the call today. Now, that is going to give you a automatic radius of 25 miles around Shepparton. That might be too far. You might not want to be doing deliveries that far because we're going all the way up past New Merca here at this point. So you might want to tone that right back, which you can do by clicking on this button. Tone it right back to about the 15-mile radius. It's in miles because it's Facebook based in the US, but that gives you a little bit tighter. You can go all the way down to 10. You can actually change it to 1. Oh, no, it's not going to let me do 1 because of the location. So 10K radius around Shep. Let's run with that. You can select your ages, whether you want to reach men, women, or all. Don't have to worry about languages. Detailed targeting. Here, guys, this is where it gets a little bit more complicated, but we're not going to make it complicated because over here on this side, we have audience size. 33,000 people is telling me that we are going to be able to potentially reach around the Shepparton area based off the data that we've put in so far. What we don't want to do is make this audience even smaller, okay? General rule of thumb is that Facebook, to make it effective as possible, Facebook prefers larger audiences because it has more data to work with. If you start layering in lots of interests and creating a really small audience, Facebook doesn't have much data to play with and it can't optimize properly to find the right people to show its ads to. So keep it fairly broad for the time being, guys. We want to reach as many people as possible. Continue to scroll down. A couple of quick little things here. Our placements, so automatic placements, you can leave that on automatic. There's a couple of things which may not allow you to set an automatic placement, which is if you have a video that you've recorded, you're going to run a video ad. If your video is over a certain length of time, whether it's over 15 seconds or over 1 minute, there's certain placements that Facebook can't run that video in. So for in-stream placements, it's not going to allow a video over 15 seconds, but it's going to prompt you. It'll let you know, and you can basically come back here, go to manual placements, and then toggle off. As we know, stories are all 15 seconds, no longer. So if you've got a video that's longer than 15 seconds, it's only going to show 15 seconds of that video or it won't let you run it. So whatever it says, if there's an error, it'll come up and you can come back and basically toggle off or untick any of the boxes that it's not appropriate for. Just waiting for my mouse to connect back, guys. All right. And it's as simple as just toggling on. You might not want to run on ads on Instagram. You may not want to run ads on Audience Network. So Audience Network, guys, is all the other apps and platforms that Facebook can run ads on. It's not actually Facebook. So it's other apps and other websites and other places that they run ads, all right? So we can keep that automatic for the time being. Don't need to worry about this. Schedule here, you can just leave that as is and it will run ads all day long and optimize as well as it can, or you may want to set start and end dates and time. Okay, so if you are doing deliveries, right, for a cafe or something, you may decide that you only want to run ads from, 6 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon when you're going to stop doing deliveries, and you can save a little bit of ad budget, but I'll let you play around with that. We go over here to continue. Now, we have gone through the campaign, we've gone through the ad set level setup, and we're now into the ad level itself. Is everybody following along, guys? Let me know in the comments. We're getting through. Beautiful. Thanks, Ross. Appreciate it. All right. So we're now here in the ad section, right? This is where we create the ad. Now, there's a couple of ways to go about this, guys. We can create an ad from scratch, right? Or you can use an existing post that you have already published on Facebook or Instagram if it meets the advertising guidelines and restrictions. So what I mean by that is that some ads, you may have put up a post of your menu, right? Or an image that has a lot of text on it, right? Okay, you're probably not going to be able to use that existing post as an ad because there's too much text. Facebook has a rule where you can't have any more than 20% of your image. So 20% of your image can't be filled up with text, right? So if you've got a photo of your menu or something like that, it's either not going to run or it's not going to run very well because there's too much text. So if you have created a video that you've already published saying, hey guys, look, we're still open, you should be able to use that post. You can select that existing post button. You can click on select post here, and you can scroll through this list here and find the post that you would like to use, okay? Now, if any of these selections are grayed out, it is basically saying you can't use it, all right? You can switch from Facebook to Instagram, branded content, we don't need to worry about that now, but you can make that selection from here and then go continue if you want to do that, all right? As always, if you can't use it, Facebook's going to tell you, right? It's going to come up with an error. Now, if we're going to create an ad from scratch, guys, basically this is how we do it, all right? We have a single image here or video, which is completely okay, or you have a carousel here. We know the difference. We've seen those on Facebook. I'll let you choose how you want to set that up, okay? For the time being, we're not going to worry about instant experience or anything like that. We're going to run down here. So it's going to show you a preview of the image. If you want to change, you can add an image here if you're going to create a carousel, but this is add one, change image, turn into a video. Again, for this, you can play around with that yourself. Select a placement to customize. This stage, again, I'm not going to run through this, guys, because we just want to get the main information that we want out to as many people as possible, as quick as we want, okay? We can do more, and I'll do more Q&A with people if they want to dive more deeply into that. So here, you can add in your text that you are going to obviously use as part of your ad. We all know how that works. You can add in a website URL if you want to, okay? But keep in mind, if you have chosen the brand objective like we have here, the algorithm is not going to try and find people who are likely to click your link and go through to your website. It is just focusing on brand awareness and reaching as many people as possible who are most likely to be interested in what your ad has to say, okay? So if you really want traffic to your website, select that traffic objective. You can go back and select it here over in the ad set level. So we're going to untick that for the time being. And we don't need to worry about anything else there. So basically, guys, this is a preview of your ad, and you can have a look at what it is going to look like on all the different placements across Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, and Audience Network, okay? So that's what the ad is going to look like on desktop newsfeed. You can also use this button over here to send yourself a notification, and you'll be able to preview it on your device. Okay, so if you open up your personal Facebook page, you'll have a new notification. Jump on that notification and it will populate the post for you so you can see exactly what it's going to look like once you start running the ads. Now, there's a couple of questions coming through. Belinda's asked a question here. I'll get to that very, very shortly. We've got languages here. Don't need to worry about that again for most people. Facebook Pixel, offline events, all these sort of things, guys, we don't need to worry about right now. This is basically where Facebook ads comes into its own, okay? So when you hear stories about Facebook ads has, generated massive income for my e-commerce store, I'm getting so many leads and sales and conversions and all this sort of stuff, and Facebook is just, it's heaven for my business. This is the back end of Facebook where all that magic happens, okay? It's what you can't access and what doesn't happen when you hit that boost button in the Facebook app itself, okay? We'll come back and we can do more training around this if you guys are interested at a later date. But basically, that is our setup of our ad. We've done our campaign, we've done our ad set, we've done our ad. We are now ready to hit the continue button down here. Okay, and that is basically going to confirm that your ad is ready to go, and it's going to then go into a review process, all right? Now, what that will look like if we click back here, so what that will look like is you will have your ad show up here, right? Whatever you've called it up here, it's going to show up. And it's going to say in the delivery box here, in review. Now, something that we need to be aware of is that because of the COVID situation, the amount of people who are on staff at Facebook to help approve ads has obviously dropped dramatically. So the approval process might take a little bit longer than normal. Generally speaking, under normal circumstances, you can have an ad approved within a matter of minutes. The first round of approvals is done automatically by machine learning, okay? So basically, the computer looks at it, runs through, makes sure there's no issues, that you're not swearing or discriminating or anything like that inside of your ad. It'll give it a tick of approval and it will be ready to run, and it'll just turn on automatically for you, okay? If it doesn't get approved, then it goes to the second round of approvals, which is done by a human manually, okay? So depending on what industry you're in or how you've worded your copy or anything like that, it could go to a second round of approvals, which is done by a human, and that could drag out that process a little bit because they just don't have the staff numbers that they normally do. So that is basically it, guys. What you are then going to be able to do is keep jumping back in and monitoring your ad. Okay, it's going to run up here. Once it's approved, this is going to change and it's going to be green and say active, and you will start seeing all of your metrics across here start to add up. Okay. Now, again, I'm happy to do Q&A with people so that they know how to monitor their results and things like that. But basically, what you want to be doing, if you've selected that brand awareness objective, it's going to be showing you reach and impressions, okay? So remember, at the ad set level, the ad that we were creating said it had a potential reach of 33,000 people. What this here is going to tell you is the number. So if this, a few days after your ad has been running, this might here say 5,000, okay, which means your ad has reached 5,000 unique people, okay? Now, impressions is when somebody sees your ad multiple times, right? So it's the same person, okay? We all scroll through our Facebook feed and we see ads multiple times. That's going to count as impressions. So your impressions might say 20,000, but your reach says 5,000. So basically, it means that of the 5,000 unique individuals that have seen your ad, they've seen it roughly on average 4 times each, okay? So that's a basic breakdown of what we're trying to achieve. We're trying to achieve reach as many people as possible, and it's okay. You want to reach people several times because the majority of the time people aren't going to jump on your ad straight away, okay? Or they might scroll past and miss it, okay? Now, I think that covers off on most things. Now, we've got a couple of questions here, guys. So what I am going to do is answer those questions. I'm going to bring that up here. So Belinda says, if doing a video, how long should it be? Look, really, it's a great question. And it's one of those how long is a piece of string questions, right? Your video should be as long as it needs to be in order to get your message across, okay? That's the general rule of thumb. That might mean that it is 6 seconds long. That might mean that it needs to be 1:30 long. The caveat that we need to keep in mind is that generally speaking, the average watch time of video on Facebook globally is 6 seconds, okay? Sounds very, very small. That is our attention span on Facebook. The average watch time is 6 seconds. So what you want to try and do if you are creating a video is make sure that you are leading with the most important information first, or say something to hook that person that's watching the video and get them to stay on for longer, okay? Generally speaking, we're not creating TikTok videos, so having an entire message in 6 seconds is very difficult, but keeping it short for this purpose is going to get you the most through plays. So keep it short, keep it concise, try not to go on for too long. You just want to get the main points into that video, make it as short as possible, get that ad up and running, and you can experiment later on running some different types of video and different lengths, okay? I hope that answers the question, Belinda. So I'm stuck on Facebook where it's not showing the login icon even on different browsers. Okay. In that case, have you tried the create account button? Because if you haven't created an account before, it probably won't say log on. So you need to go to the create account. Let me know if that works for you. Adam says, what do you think is more effective, video or photo? Now guys, video is more effective generally speaking, on Facebook, because video content is where it's at right now, okay? What you can do is you can create one ad that's got video, and you can duplicate that and create another ad, which you can use an imaging, and you can test. You can run them both at the same time, see what gets better reactions. It's going to depend on the type of audience, what you've got to say, how good your imagery is. Like, it all comes down to the creative, like how good is your creative, how good is your video, how good is the image, how engaging is it? But generally speaking, video is going to be cheaper to run ads for, and you're going to get more bang for your buck at a top of the funnel level, if that makes sense. If you are trying to get a conversion, like a sale, again, it depends. You've got to try and keep it short. And images can sometimes work really well because the person knows, likes, and trusts you. If you've been, if they're in your community or they've seen your ads before, and you can just show them an image with, here's what we've got to offer, guys, and bang, they'll go for it. It's all about testing and measuring. My suggestion is, at the moment, guys, with where we're at for the local environment, and for anybody who's switching to delivery mode and just needs to get people out, obviously taking a, sorry, 2 seconds, guys. Taking an image of your menu or whatever it might be, anything that's text heavy, is not going to work. So my suggestion then would be to use video. Everybody's like, if you're creating content for local business, show your face, guys. Like, people really want to connect. They want to feel connected. They want to hear from local business. They want some sort of normality in their lives. So if you can grab your phone, have somebody help you. If you've got somebody at home or wherever, record a short video. It's going to be more personable. It's going to be more emotional. People are going to connect with it. You're not going to have any issues with Facebook approving it because there's too much text and all that sort of stuff. So I heavily suggest that you try some video, guys, because people sitting at home scrolling through that feed, if they see your face pop up, they're going to go, whoa, hang on, I know that person. Go back, have a look, and listen to what you say, okay? So really pushing you to create some short video content, all right? All right, guys. As I said, I wanted to try and keep this as short and sweet as possible, but please let me know, does that all make sense to everybody? Were you able to follow through there? A couple of people are mentioning if they can get a copy. Yes, of course, I will create a copy for you guys. The whole thing's recorded, so I can send it through. And I'm going to be running more of these as well, guys. Actually, please let me know in the comments if you'd like to have more of these sort of trainings over the coming weeks. More than happy to dive in, get into a little bit more detail, and do them on all sorts of different topics. So if there's a particular topic that you would like me to record a webinar on, please drop it in the comments. Let me know. Belinda, Ryan says, would love to get a copy. Beautiful, thank you. James says, noting that you said earlier about adding in interests, not giving Facebook much data to work with, do you think there are some instances where this practice is really worthwhile? Yes, so James, 100%. When it comes to interests, there is definitely value from adding an interest into, or several interests into, a Facebook ad campaign. But there's a lot of things that go with that, depending on your audience size. So what we find at the agency for all the clients we run ads for, your audience size needs to be as big as possible. If your audience size is under 100,000 people, it can be a challenge to reach the people that you want to reach, because Facebook needs a lot of data, but us manually entering data like interests just squashes that audience size down, and it's basically like telling Facebook to run ads with a hand behind their back, okay? So if you've got a really small audience size that's under 100,000 people, my suggestion is to not add any interests in. Select your age, select your gender, select all that sort of thing, but don't add interests in, because it's just restricting Facebook too much. If you've got an audience size of 500,000 plus, yes, then start layering in some interests, because it's going to help Facebook determine people a little bit better. But basically, we want the biggest audience sizes that we can get, so don't restrict it too much. Let me know if that makes sense. All right. James says, did well, definitely want some more. Perfect. Ross, Yes, thank you very much, guys. You'd like to see some more webinars? Perfect, 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 guys. I am going to. If you're happy, right? If you've got any more questions, please let me know. I'm going to stick around for another 5 minutes and answer some more questions. Otherwise, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Appreciate your time. If you know of anybody who needs some help with Facebook ads, guys, if you know anybody who could benefit from this, please do let them know. I'm more than happy to share the recording with people. So spread it around your networks, let them know, tell them to send me a DM on Instagram, and I will shoot them a link to this recording, all right? Let's get it out to as many people as possible. So guys, thank you very much. If you've got to go, please feel free to head off, and I'll just stick around and run through some more questions with those that want to hang around. Thanks, guys. All right. James says, makes a lot of sense. Awesome, mate. Perfect. Judy says, thank you. You've clarified so much. Love to learn more. Awesome. Adam says, what's the average spend for return on investment? Again, mate, massive question there. Depends what you're selling, what industry you're in, what the market's doing, what the industry is doing, how much your product is worth, so many variables. But mate, we need to jump on a call and have a bit of a further chat about that and provide some clarity on that. James says, thoughts on playing around with language in our multicultural community? Yeah, James, so great question, mate, and very relevant for you, obviously in your role and with our local multicultural community. If you have a message for a certain group of people, especially if they're not, if English isn't the first language, 100% choosing the language that is going to get your message across to the type of person that you're trying to reach, right? 100%, definitely do that. What I would also suggest doing is translating your copy from English to whatever language that you need it to be, right? So using, and I actually don't have anything off the top of my head, but using a translation tool to change it from English to whatever type of language you're trying to, just literally remove all the English from your ad and create whatever language that you are trying to target. 100% do that. You might have seen Gary Vee running ads before in Chinese, right? So the caption on the post is written in Chinese. The subtitle in the video is Chinese, right? And they even sometimes have voiceover in Chinese, right? So whatever you can do to make sure that your message gets across, do it. Tim says, do you do individual training sessions and what is the cost? Yes, Tim, we do. Mate, I will touch base with you to talk about that further. Guys, if you want any help, obviously in the current economic environment, shoot me an email, shoot me a DM on Instagram. I'm more than happy to just jump on, answer some questions for you and get things through. If you want specific one-on-one training, we can also talk about that and make that happen for you as well. Definitely more than happy to do that. So Tim, let's talk, mate. Ingrid says, cheers, thanks for the topics. Thanks, Ingrid. Thanks for jumping on. Really appreciate it. Adam says, too easy. Got to head off. Brilliant call. Thanks very much, guys. Really, really appreciate it. Guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. As I mentioned, please do reach out. Let me know if you need any more help. We need to keep businesses up and running as much as we can while adhering to our physical distancing measures. We need to flatten that curve. We need to stay at home if we can, guys. You're all doing an absolutely awesome job. Stay positive. Look after yourselves. Look after your mental health. Take some time over the weekend to try and de-stress and do what you can to make sure that you're staying at the top of your game. All right, guys. As I mentioned, if you need to reach me, Anthony G. Murphy on Instagram. Most of you already follow me, so that's awesome. Really appreciate it. And I will also send you through an email after this call with links to other resources, a copy of this, and you can just reply back and talk to me. Otherwise, guys, stay safe, have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.